Okay, guys, today I will be try to give you a very, very broad insight at very macro level without getting into the nitty-gritties of it. As you know, it's not neither it is feasible to explain it in such a short time, neither it will be able to absorb it. So I will give the broad picture. What is the idea of spiritualism? The idea of spiritualism always all about to realize that every human being is the only existence, nothing else is true. That means the person is somewhat kind of waking up from a kind of a dream and entering into an alternate state wherein he realizes that nothing else exists other than him. Yeah, now this is such a very simple statement, all right. But what happens, what is the implication of it? The implication is, to be very frank, certain physical things, parameters on which we all think that this world is around us is very true and all that. Now they go for a 6. For example, time. When deep meditation, you feel that you have spent about, let's say, 1 hour, and you will be shocked to see that the time has already lapsed by 3 hours. That means that kind of a time dilation and now the kind of which we say, that sets in. That points out to something profound. That is, there's nothing known as time. Time is not absolute. That means the implications will be somewhat very much deeper later on. One is that. And the second thing is, what happens is, somewhat, of course, the implications of it is when the time slows down, there is a direct impact on all the biological systems within the body. They all slow down, including the process of aging. That is a direct implication of it when the time slows down. Because as you all must be aware, the entire cosmos is nothing but space and time continuum as per the relativity. Somewhat akin to that theory, as the time comes to starts coming to zero, towards zero, or slows down, your breathing comes to starts to slow down. Breathing is barely perceptible, and when the breathing comes down, all the biological systems also start slowing down. So there are 3 things which are continuously happening. One is time is slowing down. As a result, mind is coming to a calming down, and mind is a function of the breath and vice versa. Therefore, breath starts coming down slow, and when the breath is coming slow, starts slowing down, all the biological systems slow down. Now, these are what I told you is the pathological side of it. Only the pathological gross side of it. Now, what is the actual thing which is going to happen as far as inside the mind is concerned? Mind starts entering into a kind of an attitude while you are in that state. I'm talking all this while you are in that session of deep meditation. Now, okay, only for the temporary thing. Kind of so be it attitude. Let's suddenly in the middle of the meditation you remember someone cheating you long back, about 20 years back, 30 years back. You don't give a damn, so be it. What the hell? Let it be so. How does it impact? That kind of a call it sense of forgiveness, call it sense of don't care, or call it kind of beat. All these are flowery languages, and the languages don't matter. But the essence is you develop that kind of attitude. And that is as far as the mind is concerned. And then when the mind becomes calm, there is something very profound which is also happening here. Definitely. The calm mind starts acting as a kind of mirror. As the calm mind, just as the lake, when it is without any waves, you can see your face. The mind starts coming down. There is something very profound which is happening deep within you. You are able to see your own nature being reflected back to you. And what is that nature? Since you have no form, now what is that thing which is being reflected back? That is the more important. Basically, as the scriptures say, as all the ancient scriptures have been hopping on this fact, that the divine or the soul is composed of three qualities. That is existence absolute, consciousness absolute, and bliss absolute. We call it as Sat Chidananda Swarup or Sat Chit and Ananda. But basically, existence absolute means you are aware that you are a conscious entity. You know, you will be aware that you are aware. In a nutshell, one is that. That is what we call it as consciousness absolute. And the fact that you are the only existence and nothing else is existence is still a temporary phenomenon. That dualism is not going to leave not very anytime soon. That dualism will still return. That means you still feel that you are different. You are a separate entity now. And of course, Ananda. The third aspect is ready-made. You start entering into a state of absolute happiness and bliss. So three things, out of the three things, bearing one, the other two things are almost start happening for you. So these three things start reflecting back to you, bearing the concept of dualism, which I will not think about it now. We'll have it some other time. The other two things start reflecting back. And a lot of good, beautiful things happen as you enter into that state. For example, suppose if you are not able to sit in, let's say, constantly cross-legged for more than, let's say, 30 minutes. Because otherwise your legs will start paining. That is your capability. You are aware of that. But by chance, if you happen to get into this state while in the process of this thing, and one fine day, you will experience also. Suddenly, 3 hours have gone by. There is no requirement of uncrossing your leg or changing your leg also. This is what is called as Asana Siddhi. Your body is absolutely, it doesn't need any kind of, it's not dependent on anything now. You yourself will get shocked that how I managed to sit for such a long time. That means some kind of a phenomenon is happening here. Or maybe call it some kind of an anesthesia is being applied to the complete biological system, where you are not experiencing that discomfort of sitting for such a long time. That's what we call it as stability in the posture or the asana siddhi, what we call. And it is affected naturally, not by training yourself. If you are, let's say, training every day, you are practicing sitting cross-legged for up to half an hour, 45 minutes, 1 hour, 1.5 hours, 2 hours, 3 hours. Yes, that's some techniques are used in that way also, for various, depending on the various yoga system or tantric system. But when it naturally gets affected, when the mind lapses into such a state, the body automatically becomes like that. He may be a weak guy who is not used to sitting for such a long time. Suddenly he finds himself sitting for 1.5 hours or 2 hours. He is also got shocked. So it's got a kind of a dazzling effect on the mind. That is the thing which I am talking about. And something else also happens while you are in such a state. You feel that, see the sunlight, beautiful sun? Yeah, you actually start seeing the sunlight being reflected back to you. When your eyes are closed, in the depth of your mind, you see the beautiful radiance being reflected. You can see that, only that, nothing else. You feel even sometimes that you are surrounded by, not only in the front, but also on all your sides, you are surrounded with bright light, completely. So, this in a nutshell gives you the initial taste of what lies ahead. And no one generally will be able to remain in that state for a very long time. Although meditation session may prolong over a period of, let's say, 3 hours, but that intense periods in between, you start entering for a few minutes and then returning back for a few minutes, again entering back for a few minutes and returning back for a few minutes. That will go on like that. And slowly this will have a very don't disturb gradual
స్కూల్లో పరిగెత్తలేదు కానీ ఇక్కడ పరిగెత్తా ఉంటారా?
it starts completely transforming yourself. So with this as a background, this as a terminal objective which everyone wants to enter into, I'll just give you the anatomical structure to give you a better comprehension of the thing, why these things manifest, is affected like this. So